Hi, neighbors. This is round two. I tried to go live a minute ago and I don't think it worked. It looked like it did, but I think it did not. So sorry about that. I spent a few minutes, I guess, talking to myself. That's the second time that that's happened, but you know what? That's life. Some dogs walked by. My dog almost barked, so I guess it works out okay. Maggie is right here with me, down below the camera here, being adorable and just snuggled up to me. And it's a beautiful night in Three Rivers. This is the first night outside here on my porch doing a live video that I haven't been melting. In fact, I actually put on a sweater before I came out tonight. So I'm really, really happy to be here. I'm super happy that anyone is joining me. My text messages started today, so you may have got a text message from me. It would be really exciting if you happen to get one and tuned in. I saw there was a lot of traffic on my website today, which made me really happy. That was just about in the past hour or so. So I'm sorry if it looked like I was late for the first one. I promise I was here. I was just talking to nobody. So, anyway, let's launch right into why it is so important to vote in local elections. So, I've got some talking points here. As you probably already know, if you've seen any of my videos, I keep my notes over here to the side. So, please forgive me. But I wanted to talk a little bit about voter turnout and why your vote matters so much more in a local election and why it's far less diluted than it is in a presidential election. So, 154 million Americans voted for the president in 2024. Guess how many voted for mayor of Three Rivers? Give you a second to think it through. All right. It was about 915. So that's about it. So the whole election was decided by 51 votes. If just a couple of handfuls more of people came out, we might have had the change that I know so many of you are looking for. But unfortunately, we didn't. So the candidate who ran last time lost to the incumbent, and we got more of the same. So I want to see some change around here. And I'm going to adjust my camera a little bit. I really want you to be a part of it. So when your vote is, I'm hoping that we can get a turnout of 1,200, maybe 1,500. That would be amazing. So think about it. When you are one of 12 or 1,500 voters, that makes your vote count a lot more than when you're one of 154 million. And look, I'm not saying we shouldn't vote in presidential elections. Of course, we absolutely should. But we should care a lot about our own town too, because DC doesn't send us a water bill. TR does. And when we have potholes on our street, for the most part, DC doesn't care. Three Rivers should. You can't just march into the president's office or the White House or the halls of Congress when you have a complaint or a suggestion, but you can't go to City Hall. You can reach me really easily, and that will never stop. I will only become even more accessible once I'm elected mayor. And you won't just have to come to City Hall. I've said this before. You won't have to come to me behind closed doors. I'll hold office hours. But you can come and talk to us. And City Hall will be a happy place that you can go with your suggestions and your complaints and hopefully your labor. I really want to see us increase people's activities with the city and hope that they will give their time and their effort to our city, because I know there are a lot of talented folks out there who have no idea that the city needs them. So I will be welcoming you to join us once I'm elected. And I would love to see you join now too. You don't have to wait for me. Don't wait for November. Find a board, call City Hall, get involved, think about what you're passionate about, and start making phone calls. If you're afraid to call City Hall, if you've seen how sometimes people are treated at commission, feel free to reach out to me via Facebook, via my email, which is on my website, or through a comment here, any way you want it, but let's get you involved. So another point is that our master plan is about just shy of 60 days away from being put together. And I read through it. It's pretty good, but it only had 300 responses when the Planning Commission, who runs it, asked for responses and opinions. And the Planning Commission is filled with lovely people. I went to Planning Commission last night, very briefly, because I had another meeting to get to, but I got to meet some of the members, and they're delightful people. They work really hard. I was on the DDA for a while, and I think that's the board that, at least in my experience and from what I can tell, gets the most attention. and you still don't see all the work that goes on behind closed doors. It's a lot of homework and very few thank yous. I think for planning commission, people don't even necessarily know what they do. Like, what is it that they plan? Well, they plan a lot of things. So they probably get zero thank yous after doing a ton of work. And when I said, yeah, I saw there were only 300 responses. Yeah, they were as disappointed about it as I was. So, and you probably are too. So, I promised them two things last night: that when I'm elected mayor, we will advertise the bejesus out of things like that, and that they will get the advertising that they need so that we can get more opinions and not just have 300 people deciding what we're going to do with our town. Because to be perfectly honest, I think the priorities are out of order. And there are major priorities that I don't think were addressed. I invite you to read it. I invite you, it's, many pages, but you could at least look at the highlights minimum and see what you think, see if you think that the goals are at least in the right order. Um, and there's a link on my Facebook page now. I'm going to actually make a post out of it when I end this call or this live tonight so that you can give your opinions, and hopefully we'll get some more opinions so that we know what we're doing and that we know that it isn't just 300 people, 120 of which were school children. And while I love that school children are involved and gave their opinion, that's not a lot of adults giving their opinion either. And actually, that's not that many school children. So we just need a whole lot more people to weigh in before we enact anything. So that was the first promise I made them, was that I would give them a lot more advertising. The second was that I would be happy to head up a river cleanup. They want to do it annually. And if you know me, you know I'm an avid kayaker, and I know so many wonderful people in the kayaking community who go to river cleanups all the time. So it should be pretty easy for me. I'm on a lot of the Facebook pages and in some of the groups. So it should be an easy thing for me to help organize a lot of people. And hopefully we can clean up our rivers, because a lot of times they need some help. So that's really important to me. And that was the one thing that I found in the master plan that I knew that I was personally really passionate about and could hopefully make a difference. So those are just some thoughts on why I think it's so important for you to become involved and vote in mayoral elections and city elections in general. Again, to the best of my knowledge, nobody has signed up to run as a write-in for the third ward. It's literally a paper you fill out. That's all you've got to do. So if you live in the third ward and you're interested in helping out with our city government, please call City Hall, ask for the city clerk. She's wonderful. Leslie will help you get that paperwork taken care of. And then all you have to do is write yourself in and have your friends write you in. And guess what? You can be a commissioner. So it's a lot easier than having to actually run against somebody and, just actually be on the ballot. So anyway, I hope that somebody runs. I'm sort of working behind the scenes to see if there's anybody who I can convince to run as a write-in and to be our next commissioner. I should answer too, what happens if nobody runs? Well, then the city commission appoints somebody. And that happens when there's a vacancy for any reason, but it shouldn't ever happen because nobody ran. Quickly, why I think nobody ran is because you have to have your paperwork in by April, and most people don't know that. If I hadn't had involvement in other campaigns, I would have had no idea. And I even only found out at the very last minute. I turned in my paperwork on the last day. So there's a lot we can do here at home. If you come out and vote on November 4th, 2025, you will be part of the changes here. You will be able to reach out to your mayor and touch her. You can shake my hand. And when you have concerns, you're going to have somebody that you can come to, and somebody who will listen to you and take your opinion to heart and your concerns to heart, and who will do her very best to get you a result that is, favorable, and someone who will always treat you with respect. I promise to treat everybody with respect, no matter whether I agree with them or not, no matter whether I like their complaint or not, no matter whether I like their opinion or not. Everybody is going to be treated with respect, and I will ensure that everybody else on the board does. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. Sorry, it looked like I was a little late. My YouTube got funky. So anyway, thank you. And feel free to go to any of my bit.lys. You can find me on Facebook at bit.ly/ANGELTR-FB for Facebook, -YT for YouTube, or just bit.ly/AngelTRWeb for my website. So thank you so much. Please share with a friend, and I hope to see you at the polls by November. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.